In the start of this chapter, we see a car moving on the road. There is a boy inside the car playing games. His name is Gilsu. His father asks him to put down his phone. Boy didn't listen to his father. Then his mother tells him that his father is talking to him and tells him that he should at least answer. Boy still doesn't say anything. He thinks, I bet my dad regrets it. He is remembering the time when his classmates were bullying him. He thinks that his father regrets because he is a pathetic and weak son. His mother says to him, if the other kids bully you and hit you in the new school too, then just quit. I want you to live a life you feel more comfortable living. Gilsu thinks, liar. You were the one who made us move so that I could transfer when I said I wanted to quit the school. He lost the game that he was playing. He is looking very sad and thinks that he should just kill himself. He thinks, I want to run away. Or maybe an earthquake or North Korea invasion. He is in the new school. He introduced himself as Lee Gilsu and tell them that he came from Seoul. He's never been here before. Nice to meet you all. He thinks, I wish time would stop. I wish nothing bad would happen. Class students start clapping and welcome him, saying that they are very happy to meet him. One boy says, finally, we have a Seoul person in our class. The atmosphere is very different. He gets his seat. After some time, a boy comes to him and says, hey, new kid. Gilsu sees them and remembers the old time when he was getting bullied and thinks that it will happen to him again. Boy touches his shoulder and says, I'm Jean Duil. You're not used to things yet, right? Let's go to the convenience store together. We'll show you around school on the way too. Gilsu agrees with them. He thinks that this is his first time going to a convenience store with someone as friends. Duil says to him, what do you think? You've never seen eyebrows like these, have you? Doesn't that explain why his girlfriend broke up with him? Gilsu is nervous and tells them that he thinks it's charming in its own way. Gilsu is happy in this school. He thinks that in this school everyone looks so happy. Maybe he can also. Suddenly someone bumped into him and his grape juice dropped on his clothes. Gilsu gets scared and says, sorry. I'll give you the money to get it cleaned. Come to class 1 later. Boy says it's fine, but he does appreciate the offer. Gilsu thinks that he's kind. He thinks that he can live a normal life here. School is about to end. He thinks, the vibes here are definitely different from my old school. Everyone's nice and so sweet. I was worried for no reason at all.
I'm glad he moved.
Duil comes to him and asks him if he has any plans for today. Gilsu tells him that he has no plans and he is free. Duil says, that's good. Then do you want to go somewhere with me? Gilsu agrees with him. At night, Gilsu is walking with him. He thinks, I feel like we've been walking for a while. Where are we going? Gilsu asks him about where they are going. Gilsu tells him that he feels like they're walking for a long time. Duil stops and tells him that he wants to show him this place. He tells Gilsu that he has to go there when he is new to school. Gilsu thinks, I have to? Now that I think about it, we're getting farther from the inner city. Duil asks him if he's ever done boxing or something similar like that before. Gilsu tells him that he never did anything like that. DPL smiles and says, is that so? Then you're gonna need some ball for this. Let's hurry it up. We're almost there. Gilsu thinks, I didn't notice earlier, but he has scars all over him. He remembers the old time when he got bullied by a knife and thinks that if the same is going to happen to him again. Gilsu suddenly stops and tells him that he is sorry, but he has to leave. Gilsu says that he will come with you another time. Duil grabs him from his shoulder and tells him that they're almost there. Just come take a look real quick if you're busy. I'm sure you'll enjoy it too. Gilsu is looking very scared. Gilsu thinks, I let him take me away like a helpless idiot. It was all just a lie. The kindness, all the sweet smiles. I'm just going to get bullied again. They reach their destination. When Duil opens the door, we see that there is a boxing ring and 2 people doing boxing. And there are many people cheering for them. All of these people are from the school. One boxer lands a very good kick on his opponent. People are saying that they want to go next. Gilsu is shocked and thinks, what? Duil smiles and says, you must be shocked. Gilsu asks him, what is this? He replies, it's our school's fighting arena. It's the biggest privilege permitted to just our school's students. One person calls Duil and asks him about who is with him. This person's name is Jang Chung, Six Gates High School's president. Duil tells him that Gilsu transferred today to his class. Gilsu thinks that he look really scary Is he really a high school student? Boy with weird eyebrows who was with them before. He says to Duil, get over here. We've been waiting for you. I'll make you regret making fun of my eyebrows. Duil is ready and says, you just wait. I'll be right there. Chung comes to him and says, nice to meet you. He is very tall compared to Gilsu. Chung introduced himself. Chung says, welcome to our school. We see that Duil and Weird Eyebrows are fighting very seriously and intensely. Gilsu thinks, why are they fighting? I thought they were friends. Chung is very happy and says, this year's freshmen aren't bad. Gilsu looks at him and thinks, who is he? Really? Chung tells him, this is the true face of our school. I don't know if you noticed, but our school doesn't have bullies. However, we do have violence. It's just confined to his arena here. You must have gone through a lot of shit in school, right? De-stress right here. A school where everyone is equal in the face of violence. That is, Six Gates Fighting Arena. Everyone's equal in the face of violence? Chung says, I don't like complex shit. I'm not gonna repeat myself, so listen closely. Rule number 1. Only students of high gates are allowed entry here. Entry is not allowed after graduation, dropping out, or expulsion. Rule number 2. All the fights will be one-on-one, and without weapons. A third person is not allowed no matter what. Rule number 3. The Student Guidance Council will act as referee for the fights, and they are the only ones to decide the end of any fight. A boy comes to him and says, there you are. Where have you been? New kid. Gilsu thinks, he's the guy from earlier. He says, come up here. Let's have a fight for the cleaning fee. Chung says, what? You already have an opponent? Learn as you go. Rule number 4. Any kind of violence is banned outside of the fighting arena. Any kind of negative feeling you had towards someone will be resolved in the arena. That's the most important rule. Don't be scared. Just have fun. Gilsu thinks, me, enjoying fight? My daily routine used to be getting beaten up. Gilsu is against this guy. Gilsu thinks, my opponent is someone like him. My 3 years of experience as a bullying victim is telling me that I need to get out of here. One boy says, the transfer student I really unlucky. To be picked by Kong Inhee on his first day. Second boy asks him, Inhee? Is he famous? I think he's a first year. He says, Inhee is that guy's younger brother. I heard he came to our school this year. Inhee asks Gilsu, what? Are you not going to come to me? I was going to give you a handicap because it's your first time. Gilsu thinks, I was scared. My body won't move. Why am I fighting him all of a sudden? And he says, if you won't come, then I will. Inhee runs to hit away. Gilsu is scared and thinks, go away. Everyone suddenly gets quiet and looking very shocked. We see something is on Inhee. It looks like Gilsu vomits because he got very scared. People starts making fun of him. Inhee is angry. He says, pause. Hurry up and get me a towel. Gilsu thinks, how can someone like me, who's never rebelled in his life once, to someone else? I can't do this. Next day, everyone is talking about Gilsu and saying that yesterday was very great. They say that the transfer student vomited in the arena. Gilsu is sitting on toilet and thinks, I'm screwed. So screwed. I thought this was a normal school. Fighting arena? He remembers that Chung asks him to enjoy here. Gilsu is embarrassed and thinks, I can't forget about having fun. I couldn't even extend my arm. Something like yesterday is going to happen again today. But still, there is no violence within the school grounds. If I don't go to the fighting arena, we see that Chung did 1,000 push-ups while 2 students were sitting on him. Gilsu sees that and thinks, is he really a high schooler? Chung asks Gilsu if he has something to say to him. Gilsu tells him, I have something I want to ask you regarding the fighting arena. Chung says, what is it? Did you develop another skill other than vomiting? Gilsu says, no, it's not that. I want to say that I can't go to the fighting arena from now on. Chung asks him why. You weren't injured yesterday. Gilsu says, I'm not, but I don't have the confidence to fight a person. I don't want to hit anyone, and I don't find it fun. I don't understand the whole fighting arena thing. So from now on, I can't. Chung says, what you just said means I can beat you up as much as I like from now on, right? As the school president, I, Chung, announced that the first-year student Gilsu will not be protected by the fighting arena from now on. After that, we see that Gilsu is sitting on his seat. He thinks, protected by the fighting arena? What the hell is that about? And he comes to his class and says, so it was this class. I heard about it, that you're not coming to the fighting arena anymore. And he slam him onto his table. Image says, then I'll slowly teach you what that means in this school. I was actually in need of a slave. You're mine now. No one is doing anything to protect Gilsu. And he is hitting his again and again. And he hit him on the face and says, that was a good knee strike. Yellow hair boy says, I heard he came here because he got beat up at his previous school. And he says, is that so? No way. I knew that when I started beating him up. Hey, come to my class every time there's a break. Gilsu thinks, I was able to understand what the fighting arena's protection was right away. If you don't participate, it means you become the only student for whom violence is allowed. My hell was started once again. Gilsu is sitting in the staff room talking to the teacher about his dropout. Teacher says, you're going to drop out? But it's only been a week. Gilsu says, yes, I'm already preparing for the exam. That's more important to me. Teacher says, if that's what you want, then it can't be helped. Gilsu thinks, I did everything I could. I'm sorry, Mom, Dad, that you have such a worthless son. He is going back to his home. He thinks, now my horrific school life has ended. Starting from tomorrow, I'll live normally. Chung is there. He asks him, why aren't you fighting? Tell me, what the hell is the problem? Gilsu says, I'm sorry, and thinks, someone who's crazy about fighting can't possibly understand how I feel. Gilsu says to him, to be honest, I have trauma from violence. I was bullied severely in my previous school, and now I've reached my limit. I just want to give up. I've done what I can. Chung touches his shoulder and says, you're more pathetic than I thought. Chung says, who told you that you need to fight like a pro? Skills? You don't need shit like that. If you don't have teeth, use your gums. If you don't have strength, use your guts. That's what fighting is about. But, right now, you don't even want to protect yourself. Gilsu thinks, why is he doing this? What did I do wrong? Chung says, do you think the outside was all sunshine and butterflies if you drop out and go there? No, you'll just remain a loser your entire life. Gilsu is walking to his home again and thinks, what do you know? You've never been weak. I don't know. I'm done. Inhee is on his way. He calls him. He says, I heard you're not coming to school starting tomorrow. How can you drop out without telling us? If you leave, then who's going to be my sandbag? Ever since that bastard Chung created the fighting arena, I've never had a slave. Do you think everything will stop if you drop out? Follow me, you bastard. They take him to a place where no one is looking. They are beating Gilsu very badly. Gilsu thinks, I think I'm going to die. Please stop. Inhee is just spectating and says, but you should be glad. If it were the 6 gates high when my brother was around, you would really die. That's right. Is the address you sent me before accurate? Of course it is. You know our intel is great. Wow, our Gilsu lives in such a nice place. Unit 1105, Building 604, Jua Apartments, Manga City. Next time, we'll come over. Let's see each other often since you don't participate in the fighting arena. Gilsu asks him, what are you doing? What do you plan to do with my address? Gilsu is looking very worried and scared. And he says, he's fighting back? Hold still, or I'm going to a photo of you beat up and send it to everyone. Gilsu thinks, why are they doing this to me? What did I do wrong? I thought everything was going to end. This painful hell, I thought I escaped. But what the hell happened? What can I do to get out of this hell? He remembers what Chung said to him that he didn't need to fight like a pro. Skill doesn't matter. If you don't have teeth, use your gums. If you don't have strength, then use your gut. That is what fighting is about. But right now, you don't even want to protect yourself. Gilsu shouts very loudly. Inhee laughs and says, this loser screaming is so funny. Gilsu thinks, why me? Gilsu frees himself and throws the phone of Inhee. And he says, I told you to hold him tighter. He's struggling. Gilsu thinks, if I don't have teeth, then I'll use my gums. Now Inhee is screaming because Gilsu bite his hand. He is not letting him go. Gilsu thinks, if I don't have strength, I'll use my guts. Yeah, I'll struggle. Inhee hits him on the face. Inhee take a look at his hand and says, you crazy bastard. It hurts. Gilsu says, "How's that? Hurts, doesn't it? If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna drag you down with me. You son of a." And he says, "Would you look at that? Even a rat bites back when it gets cornered. You're ready, right?" Two boys come at him to attack. Gilsu throws sand on their faces. Gilsu thinks, "I don't need to look cool while fighting. I just need to do what I can." And he thinks, "Sand? Did he grab it when he fell?" And he orders his friends to grab him. Gilsu is trying to run away from them and thinks, "Am I crazy? Why would I fight you guys here right now?" Gilsu enters the 6 gates. He says, "I'll do it. I'll join the fighting arena." Inhi and his friends also appear there. Chung smiles and says, "This guy's more fun than I thought." Gilsu and Inhi are about to fight. Yellow Hair Man says, "That loser, it should be me, not Inhi, beating the shit out of that nerd." This fighting arena. This man's name is Park Yango, number 2 in Inhi's gang. Man that is standing beside him asks him to keep his voice down because he is not alone. Yango says, "Yeah, I know, we always have to be careful." Gilsu is getting beaten up. Bro is not fighting back. And he says, "Did you think you'd be able to do something if you fought me one-on-one? Seriously, these pathetic losers and their delusions." And he hits him on the face and says, "How is it? You regret it now, don't you? See, if you'd just taken the beating quietly." Gilsu is giving him a death stare. And he says, "This bastard, lower your Dama eyes." And he hits him on the face and says, "Idiot, trying to crawl his way up without knowing his place. If you're a loser, act like one and stay down. What? Did you think things would unfold like some scene in a webtoon?" Gilsu is getting beaten up very badly. People are asking if he is dead. And he thinks, "Did I get too excited? He's not really dead, is he?" Gilsu is getting up again. And he gets shocked after seeing his determination. He thinks, he should have been knocked out by that just now. And he goes toward him and says, "Hey, don't try to act tough. If you push any further, I might actually kill you." Gilsu is very angry and says, "Kill me? With just this?" Gilsu grabs him and thinks, "This is nothing compared to the pain I've endured until now." Gilsu slams him on the ground. Boys say that he got some moves. And he thinks, "What the? I thought he'd give up for sure. He caught me off guard." Gilsu was about to hit him but got punched in the face instead. And he says, "What are you going to hit me with these slow punches?" Gilsu is still giving death stares. He thinks, "If you don't have strength, use your sheer power." Gilsu headbutt him. Inhi's nose starts to bleed. Boys saying that the transfer student landed a clean hit, and this is getting more fun. Chung is observing the match carefully. He thinks, even if the adrenaline is dulling the pain, he must have taken quite a bit of damage. Gilsu, this guy's definitely got some resilience. Inhi throws him away. He gets up and says, "Piece of shit. Do you have a death wish?" Gilsu is still standing and continuously giving death stare. He thinks, "What the? Is that all there to them? The gangs I was terrified of. Is this all they have to show for in the fighting arena?" Everyone is cheering for Gilsu. Gilsu runs to attack him and thinks, "Why was I so scared of these punks all this time?" And he punches him on the face and says, "Sorry, but I'm not letting you catch me off guard anymore." Gilsu lost the match. And Har is the winner. He wakes up and thinks, "Where am I? Did I faint? Even so, I did it. I never even thought I'd win in the first place. I just charged in, hoping to land a hit on that bastard. I did everything I could, but, at that time, if I had gone in a bit calmly instead of rushing, it wouldn't have ended so quickly. Or should I have targeted his lower body like I did at the start? No, he wouldn't have fallen for that unless he had his guard down. If only I was a bit stronger, just a bit stronger." Chung looks at him. He says, "Are you feeling more clear-headed now?" Gilsu asks him if he is still here because of him. Chung says, "As the student council president, it's my duty to look after a student who has passed out. The arena isn't a place to beat someone to death. It's actually a place to protect students. You know it was only for today, right? Starting tomorrow, you're not allowed inside since you're not a 6 Gates High student. Well, take care." Gilsu asks him, "What I need to do?" He tells him Chung that he is not going to drop out and asks him to tell him what to do. Gilsu says that he want to become stronger. Chung smiles and says, "Training the weak is also a duty of the student council president. Are you ready?" Chung hits him on the stomach. Gilsu feels so much pain. Chung says, "How does it feel? Like you're going to die? This is just the beginning. I'll make you able to bear these punches." This is the end of the video. Subscribe for the next part.